guests are two members of the House Judiciary Committee who were at that hearing, asking decidedly very different types of questions. Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California, Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Arizona. Congressman Swalwell, I'll start with you. This was kind of an interesting day in terms of what got focused on. What was your main question that you wanted an answer to?
I mostly wanted to reestablish former Director Mueller's credibility. A Purple Heart recipient, led the FBI through September 11 and now presides over this important investigation, and also reassure the American people that the person who is overseeing Bob Mueller, Mr. Stein, still has confidence in Mr. Mueller.
Yeah, because this is about trust, right? I mean, Congressman Biggs, the American public looks at this and they wonder how agencies inside the government can have employees swapping text messages, some of those employees in this case dating each other, swapping messages against the president. It's about trust.
That's exactly right. And it is more than just donations. And that was the point I think most of us were trying to make. These people took specific actions, and you have Strzok, who believed that he had a God complex. He was going to save the country from Donald Trump. And so the question is, did he abuse his power? And then the question with regard to the investigation is, why didn't Robert Mueller catch this and see this incredible bias by Strzok and his paramour, who were both working on this special team? And so it really undermines, in my opinion, the credibility of this whole investigation.
What stuck out, if you will, and I'm going to stay with you, Congressman Biggs, because we can go kind of back and forth on this. What is the sticking point that you see right now, that you say, you know what, we definitely need answers about this? Because if there was bias inside the FBI or the DOJ, you can say that everybody has an opinion. But when you demonstrate that opinion, it does what?
Well, it bleeds into an investigation. It means you're going to have an unfair bias. We all have some kind of bias, but in this particular instance, you have people actively undermining or attempting to undermine, or it appears that they were attempting to undermine, an election. That means that you would have a government agency controlling the election, or trying to, at least people using their authority to do that. And that's the real problem that we've got going on here. Then at the same time, you have people using the Fusion GPS system to try to undermine it from that point of view. We need to find out what happened, because I think everybody wants to know if our elections still have integrity, but we also want to know whether this investigation of that has integrity.
So you're talking anti-Trump dossier. You know, Congressman Swalwell, don't you want to know if the FBI helped pay for that? That anti-Trump dossier? Aren't you curious to know? And what would you do if you had that information?
Yeah, well, I also serve on the House Intelligence Committee. We're looking at the full body of evidence that helped Russia interfere in our election. I hope we have a unanimous report. You know, we'll see as we proceed. But I also want to point out that I think Bob Mueller made the right move. He found out that an agent had a perceived bias and pulled the person off the team. That's what you would hope anyone in that position would do. If the person was still on the team, I would agree with my colleague that we should, you know, do all we can to eliminate that person from the team, or at least have hearings on it. But he's off the team, so I don't see right now any evidence that the team's investigation has been compromised.
Real quickly, a special counsel investigation. What do you think, Congressman Biggs?
I think we need one. I think it'd be good. We're going to get the Inspector General's report. Who knows when? But you need a special counsel to come back in, and he or she can start lifting the stones here that we're not getting answers to.
I just wanted to give Congressman Swalwell a chance to react to that, a yes or no. Could you live without a special counsel?
No, I believe we need Bob Mueller on this case, unimpeded, able to chase down the facts, and if anyone broke the law, make sure they are held accountable. If not, tell the American people so that we can move on and secure the ballot box and have the freedom to choose the next time we vote.
Well, this is the first time that I've heard a Democrat call for hearings on the matter. So, Congressman Swalwell, at your suggestion, maybe we would see something like that to get further on this issue of whether or not there's bias inside the FBI or DOJ. Gentlemen,
if there's ever evidence of that, of course, yes.
Thank you so much to both of you for talking about this. It was hours of testimony yesterday, and this helps us get some clarification the day after.